Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. I am the captain of the ship, as always, Georgie.
Sorry.
I'm the king of the fucking castle. You have to let me introduce myself.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm here, as always, with my lovely co-host and wife.
Leslie, and I'm the mama bear. I just never know when the pause is like a...
I'm just so random with it.
Yeah.
I love it. Guys, as always, Two Sushi Rolls Podcast is sponsored by BasicRoofingTX.com and BasicRoofingIL.com. If you guys are in the Illinois area or in the Texas area, make sure you guys contact them. Their Texas number is 210-240-4124. Their Illinois number is 630-742-0477. So if you guys have any kind of concerns about your roof, you're getting leaks, you're getting any kind of damage, you just had a terrible storm.
You hear squirrels up there?
Yeah, for real, right? Make sure you guys contact them, and they will come and give you a no-hassle free estimate and inspection of your roof. So remember, keep them in mind, BasicRoofingTX.com and BasicRoofingIL.com. All right, guys. So I want to start off the show by first of all introducing our guest. This young man I found on Facebook. All right.
You guys are Facebook friends.
Yeah. One of the first things that I'm going to tell you guys right now is you guys already know what kind of stuff I like. You guys already know what kind of vibes I like off of people, and I really like the vibes that he was giving off a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Daniels.
How's it going? Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming and being part of our crazy shit. Yeah, this guy's, man, you're extremely talented. I didn't know that you were doing all this stuff. And,
Yeah.
I really right away, I liked your vibes. The moment I saw the stuff you were posting and all that. Yeah. There's some people who post it and, specifically that kind of content, and you can kind of feel like that baloney bullshit. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you got to take somebody's advice when he's got like a fucking photo of him pumping iron and telling you to get your shit together. I'm like, maybe I should get my shit together, not at the gym. Maybe I just should. No, man, I really do like the vibes, man. I really do appreciate you actually communicating with us and actually being able to come into the studio. And I really want you to tell the audience the story that you were. We were talking before the show started, and man, guys, the story is extremely compelling.
Yeah, man, like what would you call yourself? Inspirational speaker or influencer?
I'm not self-proclaimed that by any means. If that's how it's portrayed, no. That makes me happy, and I aim to be inspirational. I want to inspire and aspire people to be better and more, productive and positive in life. That's the goal.
All right, yeah, because you just said his name and didn't really explain.
Because it's going to be self-explanatory when he starts telling his story, and I really want that to kind of get people's attention in all reality, because I didn't know that part of your story. I mean, like I said, I went off of, the vibes that I get, and I'm a huge vibe guy. Like, there was a guy who came into the studio a while back, and I was just like, he wasn't my guest. But I was like, I'm not vibing this guy. And I'm not going to say who, but I really wasn't.
Next one awkward interview.
No, he definitely wasn't my guy, but I was like, man, I'm not vibing this guy whatsoever. Matter of fact, I already hate him and all of his descendants. No, not that much. But yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story? You said you got into this whole fitness and basically, and I would consider it a little bit of life coaching. Because not everybody's capable of doing this on their own, especially what you're able to do. Some people just don't have that mental power.
I guess the full story, it starts off, I'm a musician full time. I'm in a band called Shallow Side, and it started off with me pursuing music and trying for it to be my full time job. I was actually in logistics before this, sitting at a desk, working 50, 60 hours a week, and trying to make that dream come true. So a lot of it was balancing, 150 shows a year with a 2-week vacation. So like I'm driving from Missouri on a Sunday night to make it back in time for work at 8 a.m. On one of the tours that we had been doing, this was last year, and I want to say April, I caught a common virus, like cold kind of thing. My parents urged me to go to the doctor, get checked up, get some medicine. And I was like, all right, whatever, what could it hurt? I'm feeling better, why not? So I went in there, said, I symptoms that kind of related to meningitis, and the doctor had freaked out. I told him I had lower back pain, and he misjudged that for neck pain. So he immediately sent me to the ER. And I went in there and I was like, doc, I don't have meningitis. Like, my neck's not hurting. It's my lower back. I just drove 15 hours from New York. And I'm like, I just got here like an hour ago. So I'm tired. And he was like, oh, well, let's do a spinal tap to be safe. So they start prepping it. And the doctors were telling me, I had to sign off on a sheet. And apparently 2% of like the patients actually get a punctured spinal cord. Well, lo and behold, that was me. I got to be the 2%. So they did it as soon as it happened. My heart rate dropped down to like 80 beats per minute. I went unconscious and woke back up. And they got their spinal tap done. Turned out I didn't have meningitis, so it was just like a precautionary thing that went wrong. Uh-huh. At the time, they didn't know that had happened, though. They just thought that my nerves or adrenaline went too high, and I got scared and it fainted. So I went home. And, resting, bedridden for a little bit. And then I want to say like 2 or 3 days in, I started feeling like really sick. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't lift my head. I couldn't see. And I physically couldn't eat because every time I would move my head in a vertical position, like there would be almost like a pressure that like my head was going to blow up. So it was like a week and a half of just being stuck on the couch, eating like probably like very minimal, next to nothing. So we went back to the doctor, and they confirmed that they had punctured my spinal cord, and my brain fluid was leaking out of my spine. That's why I couldn't stand up.
Jesus Christ.
So we had our album release show was like April 31st, and this happened April 1st. So I had like, it was like 2 weeks left to like somehow regain the ability to like walk and move. And like we played hard rock at that time, so like it was a lot of headbanging, and I was singing at that time in that band. So went back into the hospital. They plugged the hole up, and they were like, you got to be bedridden for like another week or so. And I went through my own physical therapy, swimming, stretching, trying to eat right, and get myself to be able to play. I ended up playing the show. I couldn't look at the lights. I had to have my eyes closed because I physically couldn't see because my pupils were still dilated.
Right.
So it was just a process of like, people said I couldn't do something, and I'm going to do it anyway. Like that's always been my mindset in life. When I was a kid and people said, why are you doing music when you could go to college? And it was like, well, because music's my, dream. And then they give me the whole, well, you could win the lottery. It's the chances of that are just as the same. And it's like, well, you may believe that or you may think that, but if you never actually try, then your odds are definitely going to be zero. That's the only guaranteed thing.
Right.
If you never try, you will never do it.
Even with the lottery, you have to buy your ticket if you want to win.
Exactly.
You don't buy your ticket, you're not. You don't even have any chances.
Exactly. So it started from there, and that was when I first started getting more into fitness. I've worked out all my life, but it was never like dedicated to the science, the mindset and mentality of it until around that point. A couple months later, I had joined a much bigger band. I had been asked to audition, made it, and that was in, I want to say, March. So I was at a full-time job, and I had another decision, another big, turning point in my life where it was like, I can quit or I can chase the only thing I've been pursuing my whole life. So I did. I left, and we started touring. And this band tours a lot. We go all over the U.S., soon to be, different countries now as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
On that in the books, hoping like Europe soon and
nice
for 2019. But that's beside the point. So when I first started touring, I couldn't afford my diet, and like I was a big guy. I was like 215, eating whole pizzas to myself.
Yeah, because you're supposed to eat a lot, right? Like the Rock's diet, he has like a whole bunch of
pancakes,
like cod, and it's crazy huge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was eating a whole lot, a lot of burgers, like steaks, like stuff like that. And I never had to really worry about it because I made enough to support myself. Well, when I had switched over, my body wasn't ready to make that transition, and I had lost 40 pounds in almost like a month or two. And that wasn't because, I was fat and I was exercising. It was all like muscle mass, and like I lost so much weight. And it was really discouraging, like looking in the mirror after all this progress that you've had your whole life. And it's just like, well, there it goes, So given what I had weekly, a food budget, which one of the months that we had going, it was $50. That was our living expense. That wasn't just food alone. Like that was everything. So it was another challenge for me, and like it didn't discourage me one bit. You know, that happens. You know, you're faced with obstacles in your life, and you either step up or back down and let it consume you. So I was definitely not going to do that. So this was, I want to say back in October. I made it work. I since have been gained like 20 to 25 pounds, and I'm back on the track that I am. And like the main thing that I believe in when I started this fitness business, which is called Royalty Fitness, I started that in July, and then myself and my clients have been pushing each other. You know, I'm not one of those people that doesn't practice what I preach. You know? If I'm telling people to be on some kind of diet and saying you can do it, it's because I have done it and I believe wholeheartedly in it.
Right.
So, you know, that's just something that I've been doing currently as well. So like a lot of my clients are dealing with, you know, anxieties or you know, different things that are preventing them from even getting to the gym. And I'm not just somebody who trains in the gym. It's like body image consulting or confidence or motivation. You know, like a lot of this stuff personal trainers don't take into account. You know, like the biggest battle is getting into the gym.
Right. You're overall opening up the spectrum to a lot more stuff to offer, a lot more help than just work out, do this, get jacked. It's like, hey, let's get your mental health together. Let's talk. Yeah. This is almost therapeutic in a way. This is more than just training. This is therapeutic, which, I mean, a lot of people could really use, you know.
Definitely.
I mean,
that's awesome. I mean, you know, I've never heard of anything like that. That's very cool. It's very cool you started this up.
Yeah, extremely good. I mean, this is something that you're going to help a lot of people with. Is there any stories that you've already encountered, somebody who was like at their lowest and you helped them bring them to the top?
Definitely getting there. Like I said, it's been since July, so I haven't been running it for that long. But I mean, I've had people that have had knee injuries, like I think it was a torn ACL, and for a year they had been complaining that they have a consistent aching. And they work a sitting desk job, so they don't get a lot of movement, and they were afraid that physical activity would actually make it worse. So instead of, you know, putting around like a lifting regimen with weights and all that, we did just more band work, stretching, and body weight kind of exercises. And she had said since, I think it was 2 or 3 months that she'd been doing it daily, that like the pain has completely subsided and she's actually getting stronger. So we're thinking of sometime in the next couple months of actually doing very low weight and building up those muscles and kind of having the strength come back.
And do you help them choose, like, and I don't know, do you recommend them like supplements that they could use for like their joint vitality, anything like CBD oils for their pain? Is that anything that's part of your regimen where you recommend, or? We
haven't really got into that too much. I think the main base for the program is to like let the client invest in themselves. So like the rates that I charge are like next to none, because I believe that the money should go into the person who's trying to get better.
Right.
So like all those like meal replacement shakes and all that, I don't really believe in too much. It's more so just like the effort, you know, like if you're trying to build something, you don't go around it and then expect it to be built, you know, like you face it head on, you try hard. It's going to take hard work. Like that. I don't have any like secret to success.
No shortcuts.
Yeah, there's no shortcuts.
Yeah, I like that, because I mean, there's so many people out there who sell you this. I'm gonna get you abs in 60 days, and it's like, dude, I look like a fucking keg. I'm not gonna get abs in 60 days, you know. But no, I like that. I like when people are more realistic.
And you're not trying to lie or give false anything.
And that's what sucks, because a lot of times those products either work for a small percentage of people with a certain body type or like metabolism rate, or they're just selling a, you know, hop on for 1 month and then we'll see if you want to keep doing it, but the results aren't going to be there. Like our bodies are the way they are because of long periods of time. It's habitual, you know, systems that get us to where we are.
Yeah, they're engines. They're engines that we have to learn how to, you know, work.
Keep up with the maintenance.
And what's your diet? Are you like keto or?
So I don't even. I mean, keto. I've read studies and I've been looking up on that a little bit. I I don't want to say I don't believe in it, but the ketogenic process in a body is valid, but it's not meant to be like long term.
Yeah, of course not.
That diet, there's it's like there's a little bit of gray space in there, you know. It's not black and white, like it works or it doesn't. I've heard of intermittent fasting, which I do believe in. If you do like, you know, 6 days of eating and 1 day fluids, like that's a good way for your body to go into like, I forgot how to say it. It's like the ketogenic process. That's basically what it is. Okay. So it targets fat and not your carbs and energy.
Okay.
But if you only stick to that, your body sort of goes into a survival mode kind of, you know, status.
It kind of starts storing fat because it thinks you're starving and all that. Right. See, and I've kind of noticed that that's my issue because I don't eat that much. I'll go hours without eating sometimes.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
I usually don't even start eating until
like 12.
Like 12 1 p.m. And that's not like something that I'm like forcing myself to do. I'm just not hungry.
Right.
And once I do eat, I'll eat like one good meal, and then I won't eat again for like hours and hours and hours. And even that, sometimes like that whole lunch process that I'm supposed to be having like around noon, 1 p.m. With work, I won't even go through that. And I'll get home around like maybe 6:30 p.m. sometimes.
And then he's like, I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah. So that's like literally just one meal a day, and I'm not losing any weight.
Yeah. And his job is extremely physical.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, because, you know, he just, it's really physical. Like, I don't even think I could do that. So it's like, I don't understand.
It's crazy though. I mean, the body is a very mysterious thing, you know, but a lot of times, like when you don't eat, your metabolisms it knows it's a cycle, you know, it gets used to things. So if it's used to certain times, like this is when your body's supposed to be burning things, that's what is going to get accustomed to. And it's hard to break that cycle. Like when you're looking at losing weight or, you know, gaining muscle or anything like that, you have to look at it at a calorie burning and intake level. You know, like how much calories are you taking in per day and how much are you burning? And if you're not putting in, you know, food to make that system, you know, be revved up like all day long, it's going to kind of be on a sleep status.
So what's a good way to actually count your calories? Because I hear people say, you know, you're not supposed to have past this many calories.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a fucking dummy when it comes down to this. How am I supposed to count calories? Like I understand I got to read like the labels and all that, but what do I know what's appropriate for me and what's not?
Well, the best thing about that, well, there's a lot of different fitness apps you can do. I know, like off the top of my head, there's like it's like MyFitnessPal is one of them.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Like sometimes you could scan your food.
Yeah,
right.
Fujicate, that's another one where you can scan your food and it'll tell you like if it's a good food or not. But per person, like how you can figure that out is literally like your diet is what it is now, right? So you just calculate what you're eating now. Don't change anything, you know, maybe even, you know, just eat a little bit more so you know like, okay, this is what I am, full, not hungry throughout the day, like this is where I'm at. And then once you get that number and you want to lose weight, basically what you're going to want to do is like get on there's tons of different programs you could do, but you want to stay below that number.
Gotcha.
And then you want to burn more calories. So like once you're under that number and you're burning more calories, your body is naturally going to be more hungry. And then instead of saying, you know, like, oh, well, I'm not hungry now, I won't eat later, like you want to set times for yourself where you want to eat small meals. And what that basically does is like think of it like kindle to a fire. You know, like if the fire is just kind of sitting there like in embers, not burning, and you don't add more kindle to it, like it's going to stay like that. You know, it's not going to want to burn more.
Right.
And you want to get your body burning more calories. So like eating small meals that don't have, you know, super high calories is a good way to make that happen. So you start adding more kindle to that fire and eventually it's just always burning.
Yeah, man, I've always found it amazing.
Yeah,
I've always found it amazing when guys like you could actually figure out the process. Because I mean, it's like, I swear to God, man, if my body was a vehicle, like my fucking what is it called? My bumper to bumper, it's completely fucked, man. No, I mean, I have so many issues with my body, and I should know better by now. I'm almost 30 years old. I should know better by now. But it's one of those things where it's got a little bit to do with my mentality, you know? I feel that sometimes I lack that strength, that mental strength to be like, no, you're going to do this and we're going to stick to this because I mean, shit. I mean,
Just eating makes you feel so happy.
yeah, you know.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
one of those things where I see guys who are like, oh, I didn't deserve to eat. You know, like, oh, you're eating Swedish fish. I don't even know if I could treat myself anytime soon with that. It's like shit. I can't do that to myself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know that I should. I mean, I got Crohn's. He does as well.
Yeah.
And we're
Like certain foods
yeah.
will destroy your insides.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like he says, like he showed up and he was eating peanuts the other day. I'm like, hey man, you shouldn't be eating that. I'm like, and he's like, dude, I know it's gonna be like fucking shrapnel later. And I'm like, why do we do this to ourselves? And then I'm Mexican, so I'm not supposed to be eating spicy food, especially with my condition.
Right.
But it's addictive. Spicy food literally is addictive.
Yeah.
It gives you an endorphin rush, and I've been eating it from such a young age
Mm-hmm.
that.
Can't give it up.
I can't give it
Yeah.
up, man. It's so difficult.
good.
It's one of those where I think if I was a crack addict, I would have put the pipe down before I would have put down the hot sauce. It's terrible, man. It's an addiction,
Right.
But I can't ever find that perfect balance in my body. I really can't. And I've tried eating healthy. I've tried eating less, and that didn't help. And like she said, you know, my job is very physical. I mean, I'm not lacking strength. I mean,
Right.
a lot of the stuff that we're carrying around, I mean, it's heavy shit. You know, it's going up and down stairs, you know, going up and down ladders, walking on roofs, carrying heavy material.
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, you know, where it's heavy work. It could be very heavy, especially during the summertime. And nothing changes when it comes down to my hunger. I still don't want to eat until like maybe like noon, 1 p.m. And if I do, you know, I'll eat again maybe like around 6, 7 o'clock. And I mean, nothing's changing.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing. And I mean, at some point there, I should be like, I'm definitely burning more calories. Or am I really eating such crap that, you know, it's just not burning?
Well, like he said, the whole fire, like, it's just going to stay there if you don't eat. It's not going to really burn.
So I should eat more.
Exactly, but you don't want to eat more like big meals. It would be like smaller meals, you know, like have a morning snack and then maybe a morning snack again, and then your lunch, and then like a mid-afternoon snack. But like, I mean, it's got to be like good food. It can't be, you know, like I had a cake for breakfast and then a cake
Yeah.
yeah. So it's crazy. I mean, like it's normal for people not to know what to do because there's so many different approaches, you know, like there's, you know, from keto to Herbalife to like shakes and all that crazy stuff to people that just say cardio and people that say weightlifting. So that's why it's definitely hard to like look at it and say this is the one way to do it. But the only thing that matters is that you're actually trying. You know,
Right.
like there's a lot of different ways you could do it. People say that there's certain secrets to success on like 2 days, but like that's your body, you know, shedding weight, tricking itself, and then it's harder to get it off later.
Right.
Just getting in a habit of being healthy and doing a little bit here and there, and then eating a little bit healthier is huge. Like for me personally, I'm trying to gain weight but cut body fat at the same time. So like when you think about it, that makes no sense at all. Like how can you get skinnier and bigger at the same time? Like that's impossible. But what I'm doing, so I eat like 6 to 7 meals a day. Like I eat a lot. Like my snack is 2 full chicken breasts, a whole can of green beans, a whole can of beans, two avocados, and
This is a snack, you said?
yeah, that's my snack.
Fucking
Like,
A.
for breakfast, I'll eat like 10 eggs, a bowl of oatmeal, 2 bananas, and then I'll like that's how I start my day. Like
Right.
that's what I do. I mean, it takes a lot of
10
time. Like,
eggs.
if I could have someone do that for me, god damn, I'd be blessed. but that's what I do, and basically what that is doing is it's putting my body in like hyperdrive of like burning calories. So when I go work out, it's even doubling that. So I need those huge meals like continuously through the day to keep building muscle, but my fat's burning.
Gotcha.
So like I've
Wow.
gained almost 15, 20 pounds in like a month, but I'm almost at my last belt loop. Like my waist is just shrunk, and like so it's crazy how you look at it because the body's a very like complex machine.
It is, yeah, it is.
Very,
Yeah.
man.
Very.
That must be very hard to learn how to tune into yourself.
It's just, I mean, it's experimenting really. Like when you just try one thing and you're like, oh, well, I've noticed it works better with this. Like it's just about feeling healthy and right. Like if you're starving throughout the day all day long, like nobody likes that, you know, like that's not something that I would advocate to my clients ever.
Right,
is
right.
like, you know what, like, you want to lose weight, don't eat. Like, no, like, be happy, like, live your life comfortably, but put a little effort in there. You know, like, I'm not telling you you're gonna look like a size like 1 model in a week, but you'll certainly look and feel better, and that's what's important.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
I think there's a lot of stuff that I think now it makes a lot more sense, because I have noticed that when I have eaten breakfast, whether it's like, which is usually like either a banana or a multigrain bagel from like Dunkin',
Yeah.
you know, and when I eat that, those are the days where I immediately like I need lunch a little bit earlier
Yeah,
than when I.
exactly.
So that makes a lot of sense now. And I always found it weird. I'm like I ate breakfast today, and now I'm all of a sudden hungry.
And I'm never
so
hungry
it
until
kick-started it.
Yep.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see that's weird. It's so weird. It's like, so you eat more than me, and you got a banging body. I eat less than you, and I look like a fucking keg. That makes sense. God's definitely got something cooking in there. Dude, that's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it's wild.
And you know-
what? Go ahead.
And you know, I think your company, your business is great for postpartum moms because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things emotionally that goes on, and then they look in the mirror and everything's like, it's not messed up, but it's not the same anymore.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is that they have to start with their mind, like you said. And I think that's a great resource for them. Like,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
And see, that's another thing too, man. Because health does affect the people around you as well, especially if you have a spouse. Because when I got with her, what were you, like a size 0?
Oh, I was super tiny. I have
She
2
was
kids now.
tiny, dude.
But the diet that I put myself on,
Mm-hmm.
it was like I was eating nothing and then running for long distances.
Right.
Because I was a big runner,
Mm-hmm.
so I'd run, and then I'll eat like a little tiny fish, and then run, and then I'll eat a banana with peanut butter on it. And like I was super tiny.
Yeah.
And now I had 2 kids, and I'm just like, I'm way happier,
Right. Right.
but I'm not exactly happy with how I look anymore.
But I think I take a little bit of responsibility for that, because for the long.
He's the cook.
Well,
He
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Spicy food.
But,
doesn't it?
but it's not just that. I remember when I first got with her, I was like,
Yeah.
"You hungry?" She was never hungry, and that was my fucking hobby. It's like, "Hey, let's go get something to eat." I'm a fucking foodie.
Right.
So like, I think I got to the point where I would always be encouraging her, and she'd be like, "No, I'm good." And little by little, I started noticing that the crap I was eating, like as snacks every once in a while, she would like start craving her on her own.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm like, man, okay, she's eating good, cool. But then those habits didn't die, because now
Right.
I'm next to her eating this crap. It's like, hey,
It's like, now we're both.
you want some of this?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a back and forth. We perpetuate each other's bad behavior when it comes down to eating healthy.
Yeah, we're really bad at that.
It's such a funny thing, but like that's very common. Like when you're in a relationship and you're happy, like weight gain is like, that's normal, you know, like that happens. But it's just, you know, like it could be the same way still. It's just the type of food you're eating, and like, you know, it's just like that element of balance. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that balance. Yeah,
It
we
truly
we
is.
lack balance when it comes down to eating.
Because when I got pregnant, and I was like, I'm craving this. Let's go get this.
That's,
Yeah.
that I've heard.
Yeah.
I've heard.
And then I would make my excuse where it's like, hey, I'm having a craving too. That baby's passing them on to me,
All the
man.
time.
Yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes it gets, especially with kids, man, it gets to the point where you're so busy balancing everything else. You're trying to keep these humans alive,
Right.
you know?
Oh, right.
And you got to
Absolutely.
make sure that they're eating when they're supposed to. And a lot of the times, dude, I will literally start cooking, you know, a nice ass dinner, and you know it's huge and it's nice, and some of the time it is very healthy,
Right.
you know. But by the end, I'm done cooking and I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah.
I spent so much time cooking for all the kids and her, and I'm, you know, doing all these things. I don't even want to eat. Sometimes she doesn't want to eat because she knows she has to clean up, you know, the pots and the dishes,
Yeah,
and then she's
absolutely
got to
there.
put kids. So
Yeah.
I mean, it gets so tough, you know, trying to balance everybody else's life, that you kind of forget, like, hey, you know what? I need to stop, pump my brakes, and rebalance, you know, what I'm eating. And even something as little as maybe I should just be eating breakfast a lot more often.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what because I remember when I was like super healthy,
Right.
I would always be like, I have to eat breakfast because I have to start. I have to jump start, basically. That's what I always told myself. Because I remember reading it somewhere, because I was in high school, because I'm pretty young.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Right.
Yeah, for real. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break to let you guys know a little bit of news. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the conversation for a moment. And I wanted to bring up a few things that I think the listeners need to know, as well, I guess, as my staff here in the room. The show is still going on. Don't get scared. I saw Mo's face. He was like, what's
Bo was
going
like,
on?
No.
The fuck haven't you told me yet? I thought we were on the same page.
Yeah, no, everything is still good, guys. Unfortunately, well, no, fortunately, I got a great opportunity. I'm going to be heading out of state, most likely. This is a 98% chance.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be leaving out of state probably within the next 5 days. So it's going to be 2 days after you guys get to hear this episode on Monday. So I won't be doing the show for the next few weeks. But come on, guys. Come on. We got the mama bear here.
Yeah.
She's going to continue to do shit, man.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all don't have to worry. And matter of
there'll
fact,
just be a whole lot less fucks and
yeah. Or who knows? Maybe the crazy will come out of you finally.
Maybe.
You know,
Never know.
Ethan has to get off ship for a moment and have to go scout some land. I have to go see what the hell is going on. But I mean, like I said, guys, not to worry. The show's gonna continue to go. You guys will hear from me. Maybe a Skype call. Will you guys Skype me at least? Yeah, something.
It'll still be every Monday. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change, guys. Consistency.
Well, I mean, obviously, it will change, but it will.
It's not gonna change that. Like, you guys are probably not even gonna miss me.
Oh, well, no.
You guys have to run the show. Mo, you gotta make sure. Come on. You gotta make sure my skipper over here takes care of the ship. Make sure nobody gets scurvy.
I'm scared. What am I supposed to do without my captain?
No. No. Everything's gonna continue to be good. On the plus side, guys, don't forget that on the last episode, we let you guys know. There's more shows now. Part of our network. We got Mo's. There's levels to this. We also have the Baldwin kids.
It's all different.
Yeah,
you guys will not miss a thing.
Yeah. So there's plenty of flavor out there for you guys to start getting out of our network. I'm gonna miss you guys. But I got to go out there and I got to do some stuff. We got some family issues going on, so I have to make sure I go take care of that. But that's what's going to be happening. And while we're on the topic, as always, we are sponsored by BasicRoofingTX.com and BasicRoofingIL.com. So please make sure you guys visit our sponsors. Without them, the show wouldn't be possible. Without all you guys, the show wouldn't be possible. So thank you guys for listening, and thank you to our sponsors. Go ahead. We can go back now. We can go back to this combo. Sorry, guys. I really had to do this on this episode. I really did. It had to be like this.
What I really like about your whole business is that you take in all aspects, not just workout or not just eat. You deal with the anxiety and you deal with so much stuff. And that's why, as a mom, I'm like, that's awesome. Because when you give birth, like, your emotions are kind of everywhere. And then you look in the mirror and then you feel really terrible. And then you tell yourself, well, I'm too tired and I don't want to go to the gym. And I'm too tired and I don't want to cook something healthy. I just kind of want to eat a bowl of cereal and cry a little bit. So that's really...
The hormones are everywhere.
They are. It's so true.
And like you said, you're not there at the gym. You could always voice call and he Skypes. And that's a lot of flexibility that I feel like new moms need. Right. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And two, I mean, the cool thing too is it's not all about, going out and joining a gym as well. Like a lot of the stuff that I do, a lot of clients that I work with don't even have gym memberships. They got a set of dumbbells, a yoga mat, and like a treadmill. And that's really all you need. Like I just break it down to the bare basics that, like, if you put in the effort, the results will be there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You don't need to go out. If you prefer to do that, by all means, like that will help a lot more. Like, there's more tools to utilize to make you, get your body jump started to, a better appearance or whatever. But you could do it at home as well, in your basement. You could do it in the back. You could go to a park. It doesn't matter. As long as you got physical activity and a solid diet that you don't really break too much, like, you're golden.
That's awesome.
A lot of people, I feel, trainers specifically, especially actually in media as well, like, a lot of people don't take into account the people that have trouble getting to the gym. There's lots of people that want to feel better, look better, and be more positive and optimistic about life. But like, it's hard to get out there, especially in today's world where everything is, like, stay at home and we'll bring you food, or like, you don't have to leave your house to do anything. Like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's continuously pushing us to be a little bit more introverted. And that doesn't mean that you have to be unhealthy, like you can be secluded in your home and still, feel better, look better, and exercise. So I feel like that aspect of the business model for what I do with Royalty helps out a lot. Like, I'm not asking you to go, show your face in front of 500 people at some Lifetime Fitness club. If you don't want to do that, you don't need to. It doesn't have to be a gym.
Oh.
So
Yeah, that's true.
That
yeah.
is very true what you mentioned about everything is.
That's
kind of
like what they
you
used to
have.
call the jailhouse workouts. Yeah, I mean, like, these guys could, like, and a lot of people, like, imagine, like, in the movies like this, rec room with weights. It's not always like that.
lifting the kitchen table and
Yeah,
stuff.
right. Yeah, I mean, like, majority of the time, these guys aren't. What's this buzzing in here? I feel like we're getting some cell phone feedback. Yeah, no. I mean, sometimes these guys are inside of their cell and they're doing push-ups, they're doing sit-ups, they're doing crunches, and these guys get jacked like that. So I mean,
Like Iroh in Avatar.
yeah, right, exactly, right? Yeah, no, but I mean, what would you consider being the healthiest amount of time to work out? Because I know that there's some people out there who overdo it. I mean, they're what was it? Your old friend with my
him.
sister. He ended up getting a job as a personal trainer.
Well, he wants to be. He's going to school. He wants to
Okay.
become that. But it's very opposite of how you are.
It's extreme what he does, man. It's like, I mean, that
It's
sounds like
almost
an
like-
injury waiting to happen.
And it's almost like he shames people instead of uplifting them. It's like complete opposite.
That's why it's so the weightlifting industry, or the training and health industry, is so diverse. There's a million ways to look at it. The most important way is that it works for you.
Right.
And like I said, like, there's products everywhere. Like, you might try one thing and not like it. You might try another and completely like it. And I just hope that the people that I do work with find it very beneficial. But you don't need to spend 3-4 hours in a gym every day. Like, that's asinine. Like, people got kids, people have jobs. I have a job. Like, it doesn't work out with my schedule. And I didn't get to where how I feel and look by spending 5 hours in a gym every day, like pumping iron. I mean, some people do, don't get me wrong, like, they have the time to do that, but the most important thing is that it works with your schedule and fits with what you want to do with your life. So I would even just say, like, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, even if you got 30 minutes, like, it's the amount of time and effort that you put into it, and then just repeat that process. And, like, I cater the workouts to work with people's lives. Like, I'm not going to sit there, look at someone in the eyes and say, like, you have 2 jobs, kids, and this and that. Well, you're going to have to spend 2 hours in a gym every day in order to get where you want to be.
Well,
That's not
like, for
true.
example, with me, we got 6 kids at home.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
From this little all the way to 9-year-old.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
All right. So what's something that I can do between work, coming home, spending time with the kids, doing house duties, all that kind of
Right.
stuff? What's something that you would be like, what, if you do find time, this is how much minimum time you should do, and this is what you should be doing? What's one of the best things you would recommend for somebody like me?
Judging from, like, what you were saying with your diet and stuff, I think the biggest thing would just be meal prep. Like, you get one day, like a 1-2 hour period throughout the whole week. Just make your food for the whole week, and then it's there. Like, if you're hungry, it's at the push of a microwave. That's
Gotcha.
That's how the fast food industry targeted America. Like, it's there, it's immediate, and it's ready. So people don't want to go home, set up pots, pans,
Yeah.
cook for
Right.
an hour.
Yeah.
And like you said, by the time you're done,
It's like, I'm so tired.
yeah,
of this.
you're either not hungry or you don't even want to put pots and pans away, so you just go stop at McDonald's.
Yeah, it's true.
If you take that and put it to healthy food, it's the same thing. You got Ziploc bags or your Tupperware, and you have a healthy meal already ready to go. You just pop it in the microwave, and it's warm. You have an hour more in your day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So in your definite opinion, you really do think that my root of my issues that I'm personally having has to do with meal preparation and with with not consuming enough food and what I am eating.
I wouldn't put it as solely one thing. There could be a lot of stuff.
Right, but that's the
Right.
major thing
But
that
there-
you're like, this
yeah,
could probably be
that
one of
could-
the major fixes that's wrong with me.
Oh yeah, that could help a lot. You know, I've seen people drop 10 pounds in a month from fixing their diet and not even working out that much. It's a per person thing. It's a habit thing. Like when you set out your lifestyle, I try to figure out how people, you know, operate. And I want them to be honest. You know, a lot of times they'll get like, you know, I didn't eat cake yesterday. It's like, you should be honest with me because like we're trying to, be open. So, yeah, I mean, diet is absolutely huge. And that takes next to no physical activity at all. Yeah, that can be a huge factor in helping you get, you know, to
where you want to be.
To where you want to be, a progressive direction. And then even like for physical activity, like 30 minutes on a treadmill, like that would be huge.
So you recommend a little bit. So like, let's say me going out, taking a jog. Like that would be something that would help me out. But what's the right amount of time to jog? You know, what's something that I need to tell myself in my head? Hey, I need to go out there and I need to jog for this. Because I mean, I can go out there and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'll be honest with you. Right. I'll probably go out there, run like maybe down the street, come back, and I'm like, you know what? I think that's enough. and you know, it's one of those situations where you kind of lie to yourself, and you're like, yeah, that was enough. You know, for somebody who doesn't do this stuff, this is enough. You know, but sometimes it's not. You do need a little bit more. So what's something that I could do?
So getting into a little bit more science of like the working out, when you're trying to burn fat and you're trying to slim down, there is a fat burning zone in your body. Every person has it. It's different for everyone. And it's one of those simple formulas, like, you know, you calculate your heart rhythm, what's your max heart rate minus your age, and then 6 to 7% of that number is your fat burning zone. Like for me, I think it's like 130 to 145 or something. So the longer amount of time that your heart rate is in that little tiny interval, the more likely it's going to trigger that ketogenic process where it burns your fat.
It's kind of like what Joe Rogan and all the guys did for Sober October.
Yeah,
do you know
about Joe Rogan?
I know
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. They did the whole Sober October, and that was the main thing that they were doing with like Tom Segura and Ari Shaffir was like, you know, you have to get this many points, but the only way you can get these points was by keeping your heart rate through like a certain threshold, depending on their age, body is how you said it, and keeping your heart rate at that level for the long period of time. So that's how they were gaining points. So what's an app like that I could use?
As far as like, if you don't have like a treadmill or a gym or anything like that, I got to look into some of the apps that are really good with heart rate monitors. My phone came with one. It was like Samsung Health or something like that.
Oh, well, we got one too, but I have to buy a band for it, right?
Yeah, you have to have something.
I don't think so.
Really?
Oh.
There's one of them. You put your thumb on it.
There's a fingerprint monitor, and
right.
a heart rate monitor.
Oh,
no
wow.
shit.
Yeah.
So it really is possible for everyone.
Absolutely, and that's crazy too, because it's we're in an age where literally the entire world's information is at the touch of a fingertip. Yet, like, people still have so many questions, and that's because there's over information.
Right.
You got so many things you don't know what to sift through. So, I mean, it is really easy. It takes a little bit of guidance, confidence, and like a willingness to be like, I can do this.
Right.
Yeah, that is awesome.
So, I mean, yeah, just even that, like a 30-minute of keeping your heart rate in that zone, like daily, and then eating smaller meals, like I'm sure you could see a huge change. And there's, other ways like weightlifting and all that kind of stuff, but like as a base, that's a great base to start.
Right. And I think that's the only thing that I am lacking right now would be a little bit more cardio. Because when it comes down to weights, man,
food.
And food, right. But like, no, overall, like, I don't think I need to lift weights right now.
Because that's what your job is.
That's like literally all I'm doing all day. So I think maybe just getting my heart rate going a little bit more, eating a little bit healthier, getting I guess my metabolism, back to square one, because that's one of the major issues that I have. And it's so crazy, man, because in all honesty, man, I am a very dedicated guy. When it comes down to anything that I'm very passionate about, whether it's family, my hobbies, whatever it is, I'm very dedicated and I'm very headstrong. But when it comes down to my diet, I feel that after high school, it was terrible. It was terrible. And growing up, I feel like, my brothers, do brother stuff, and they'd make fun of me like, oh, you're pudgy, you're this. Right. I look back at the photos when I was younger. Nah, man, I was
not pudgy.
No, man, not at all.
Take me back.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that I look at these photos and I have my memories of myself, and I legitimately fooled myself into thinking, yeah, you're fat.
Do you see that a lot? Because I had that too, where I looked back and I was like, Oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
It is so common, and it's scary because, well, it happens in both, sexes with male and female. Like, it's very common for females to feel like they look bigger than they actually are, and the reverse of for guys. It's very common for guys to think that they're like skinnier than they actually are. Like, they're like, I want to be buff, but I look like a stick, and like. They're like,
okay.
you know what I mean? So that's super common. But I mean, and it's both ways too. Like, you could be bigger and want to be smaller and still think you're bigger. It's just how your mind perceives your body image. And there's actually, and this is crazy, I'm not like naming out, gyms that do this, but there are actual mirrors in certain companies that make you look a certain way.
Oh,
Like some mirrors that,
really?
let's say, like a clothing store, a brand name clothing store, will make you look skinnier because the clothes look better on you,
And
you're
more chances
likely
to
to
buy
it.
it. That's fucked
Right.
up.
Wow.
Some big bodybuilding gyms I've noticed that I'll go to, I look bigger in the mirrors because they want their
Gym to
their gym, their clientele is to get big. So they're like, well, let's make them look a little bit bigger in the mirrors. So it's crazy. Like, there's such small things that, like, play with your mind a little bit and kind of like make you think a certain way, yet you don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's
You're, like,
crazy, man.
You're passing fast food restaurants every single 5 seconds, and like
Mm-hmm.
you're like looking in mirrors that make you look a different way. You forget how you actually look and feel.
Yeah, they
Wow.
really do play on our issues with body dysmorphia that we have
Wow.
on multiple levels. That's really
Yeah.
messed up. That's really messed up. Yeah, because I specifically remember like always being the size that I am right now. But no, I look back at photos and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, no, I was.
Yeah.
I used to be a wrestler back in the day.
Okay.
And we used to have to do all kinds of crazy workouts,
Right.
and we had to stay, on top of our shit when it came down to school because you get kicked off the team.
Exactly.
You have to stay at peak performance mentally and physically, and somehow I let what was being told to me get to my head, and I legitimately thought that I was fat, and that affects you because at one point you're gonna look at yourself and you're gonna be like, well, this is the way I am. Fuck it, I'm gonna eat this cheesecake.
Yeah.
Oh well, fuck it, who's looking at me? I'm gonna go ahead and eat this extra
Right.
whatever,
Right.
and it plays on that, it plays on
definitely. And that thought process is actually very dangerous, and not in the like diet realm. Like that's a very self-defeating thought process that can be attributed to your entire life. Like, if you're at work, like, oh, there's a promotion, like, I'm not gonna get it, I don't need to go for it, like, oh, I don't need to, I'm not gonna get it anyway, like, it starts there. That's all baby steps. Like, and when you look back 5 years after the fact and you're like looking around like, holy crap, like, it wasn't just food, or it wasn't just me accepting that I look this way. It's almost like a cancer. It goes to every part of your life. And that's what I try to get people to realize, like, from the get-go. Like, if you're starting the program, like, you got to look at yourself and be a go-getter, and not just fitness and everything. You want to have a healthy body image. You want to like how you feel, and not if you're, I'm not saying you can't look like how you feel if you're pudgy or bigger or you're skinny and fit. Like, it should be the same. You should be happy with who you are as a person, and then work on your goals after. Because a lot of people think like, oh, I'm gonna get skinny and then I'll be happy. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna get skinny, and then you're gonna realize that you don't like something else in your life, and then that's gonna go to that as well.
Right.
So it's very dangerous thought process that a lot of people don't even notice.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
It just jumps continuously from one thing to relationships to personal life. So the mental part of your mental fitness as well is the most important thing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that because
Wow, do
yeah,
you-
it's kind of like having like for example with me, that's like my crack. Everything else is strong, but like when it comes down to like my fitness and my overall eating health, it's a crack. And if I continue to let this shit go bad, it's gonna crack the rest of me.
Wow.
Now, I agree with you. I no, dude, I definitely see what the hell you're talking about.
Wow, and that's such an eye opener.
Yeah,
You don't
definitely.
really think that way.
Definitely. That makes a lot of sense, man. No, dude, definitely. I think that you're going to be helping a lot of people when it comes down to this stuff, man.
Yeah, like even like I said, like I know a lot of women, and what you say is definitely true.
And do you feel comfortable disclosing like how much you charge, or is that just something you want people to reach out to you?
I'm happy discussing that publicly. So a lot of people, and this is what I actually pride myself on this as well, because like I said, for me, it's not about just me taking people's money and like running away and being like, hell yeah. I want people to be able to invest in themselves more, and that's my goal, is to get people to be happy and get that lifestyle. So what I do is I charge $50 flat a month. And, a lot of trainers do $35 an hour per session.
Yes.
And people do like 5-6 sessions a freaking month. And it's like, at that point, I value my time, very much so. Like, people say time is money, but I value it. But the important thing is that my clients are healthy, happy, and they're getting their money's worth. It shouldn't have to, cripple your wallet and your bank account to make you want to feel good. Like, it's a right. Like, every human should feel comfortable in their own skin. Right. So what I do is basically 24/7 customer support. Like, send me a message at any time. Like, I'm a musician. I'm like up at odd hours of the night.
Gotcha.
I'm up in the morning working. So like, it's pretty much $50 a month flat. And I offer, diet help, workout regimens, everything from, image consulting, body stuff, all that kind of stuff. And that's all included. And, just pushing to help people see that growth is what really makes it worthwhile.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's really cool, man. And I mean, and if any of you guys are out there listening and you guys are, are thinking to yourself, well, $50 is still too expensive for me, whatever. I mean, if you really think about it, you go do 2 hours, you're paying a guy for like, per hour, you just paid way more than what he's charging. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you're playing yourself. It's might as well. Yeah, you guys got to come to this guy.
And his Facebook is very inspirational. I've seen it on Georgia.
Yeah.
I was legit thinking, I was like, dude, that's not a bad price, and it's like holiday season. It's like, I can think of a couple.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who've been struggling with this stuff for years. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, but I think, and I think for everybody who's listening out there, let's try to make this past the holidays, man, because I think that's a trap that we all fall into. And I could be very self-aware about that, where I could easily say, you know what, that's my New Year's resolution. Who the fuck hasn't said that? But at some point, you guys have to step the fuck back and realize, am I really going to bullshit myself and play myself this time? Or am I really going to go through with this? And I think that's the real difficult part, because it's easy to say I'm going to make a difference. Right. It's also easy to do it for like a week, 2 weeks. But to actually push yourself to do it full time and make this a lifestyle, not just a momentary change, that's a game changer. It's a huge game changer. You guys got to definitely check him out. Babe, why don't you let people know where all his info is?
All right. So his business is called Royalty Fitness, and he's Matt Daniels on Facebook, and he's also Matt Daniels Fitness on Instagram, and we'll link it all in our descriptions, on our Facebook, everywhere. So we'll be sharing his profile.
Yeah, make sure you guys go there. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Make sure you guys, add him. He's got this page specifically for his business.
Yeah.
You guys are... I'm telling you.
And he does it with you guys. Like he said, he's not just posting it, you go do this, and I'm just going to sit back and watch you do this.
I like the support you give. That's like full on fun. You're like AAA for like fitness, dude. Like, it's like anytime, give me a call, send me a message.
I got you. I'll come pick you up.
Yeah, man. This is amazing. I really do think, and we do have listeners from all over the world as well. Cool. So I mean, guys,
he does voice, like he's 24/7.
Yeah, and he said it. He does Skype. If you live far away, he'll do a Skype call. He'll do a phone call. Email him. I think that's majority of the work. I mean, he can't be there holding your hand at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think that's more than enough. Nobody can be there making sure that you're, lifting things. He's not going to be sitting there holding your hand. At some point, you have to realize that one of the biggest steps everybody individually needs to make is on your own, is doing it. And I mean, there's only so much somebody could do, but with this kind of support, man, I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
It's like the next best thing possible.
Yeah.
You almost sound like almost too good to be true. Like the type of dude that the Rock calls.
Yeah, there isn't any fine print, is there?
No.
Make sure you go. It's like that fine print at the end of the commercial. No. Right. May cause cancer. No, man, I really do appreciate what you're doing, man. I think a lot of people really do need to reach out to you. Like I said, I really had good vibes from the moment that I did find you, and you know, I really do go off of that. I do really go off my vibes, and you know, I really do hope that you can make something out of this. I also wish you plenty of luck with your music career, man. You were saying you were also going to be doing tour in 2019, probably in Europe and all that?
Oh, yeah, there's, well, nothing confirmed. I know there's talk of it, but definitely we'll probably be playing, you know, most of all, if not all the months of next year. We recorded our album, which should be released soon. There'll be singles out on radio shortly as well. So we'll be everywhere. And that the great part of it that is like this, the fitness business is not secluded to where I live. You know, it's everywhere. It could be different countries. It could be anywhere. Everything's sent over the internet. If you need help, like I could be there via video for form. You know, explain where you should be feeling things, what you should not be feeling if you're injured, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm literally there every step of the way.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we really do appreciate you coming into the studio, making time to come over here. We appreciate everything. Guys, once again, he is, where's he at?
He's Royalty Fitness, and he's Matt Daniels on Facebook, and his Instagram is Matthew Daniels Fitness.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. We hope to see you guys on the next one without me, just Mama Bear.
Just me, but thank you guys.
All right, guys, you guys have a good one, and make sure you guys stay fit.